Welcome everybody back to Two Newbies Exploring A Course in Miracles. We have a special treat for you today. So we have got a guest here today. Her name is Lynda, and she is somebody that both Chantal and I took our intuitive coach training with, and somebody lovely, amazing woman. And she's been doing A Course in Miracles as well. And so we wanted to bring her on and just kind of compare notes and pick her brain and ask some questions. So Lynda, welcome, welcome. It is great to have you here with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited, I'm thrilled, and just okay, let's go.
Awesome. Chantal, do you want to start us off with a question?
Yeah, of course I do. So, Lynda, sorry for the fireworks in the background. It was bonfire night not that long ago, so we have everyone's having the discount fireworks right now.
Nice, enjoy.
They just started. So, what motivated you to start A Course in Miracles?
Okay. I reflected on that, and I'd been at a workshop with our common leader, like Divi Chanda. Yeah, so I'd been at a workshop, and on our break, we went for a walk, and she started talking about A Course in Miracles. And it caught my attention. A couple of our colleagues were already doing it, and they were a couple months in. And then I knew that you two were into it by a couple of months. And it just really ignited my interest. And, honestly, I was looking for miracles at that point. That word miracle, like, okay, I need that miracle, right? But anyway, that's where I started. And I've got so much to say about that. You want me to just jump in?
Yeah, jump in.
Just keep going. Yeah.
Like whenabouts did you start? Just so you get the feel for
April.
Okay,
yeah.
Lovely.
Okay. Yeah. So for me, like okay, well, let's stick with them. I've been doing them like one day at a time. Like initially, I was disciplined and said, okay, I'm going to do it one day at a time. Follow the rules. Got to be the good student and everything else. But I didn't have anybody else to do it with. But, like that idea of a miracle happening, I think, honestly, that was a big thing for me. And so anyway, I jumped in, and it was one lesson at a time, and then, or per day. And then after a bit, it's like, maybe I wasn't getting the lesson that much. And I had a conversation with somebody about it, and it was like, there was a judgment on it. I heard a judgment in her voice about the fact that her friend would just jump in and kind of not continue, or like continue even before understanding it. But I wanted to understand it. And so I would do it for 2 or 3 days, or sometimes I do it for 5 days. And every once in a while, it's like, I don't feel like doing it today. And so I just give myself permission. And it hasn't happened very often, because the book just engages me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny and I have been having that a little bit lately, where we're starting to hit, shall I say, a wall?
Yes. Yes.
We just feel a bit overly saturated, and we would like to read other books and experience other things.
So why didn't you?
Well, we're like, okay, so as part of the podcast and as part of our, I guess, goal for this year was to keep on doing one a day and to kind of get to the end. We both kind of decided that we were going to follow the rule book with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think part of me has a fear that if I were to stop, I wouldn't start again.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'd have a hard time getting back into it. But there is a part of my brain that knows that I've blocked off this year to do it. But like Jenny and I were talking about on like the last episode, that we can really only read like the fluffiest fluff of books. Like really fluffy books. Because like we kind of get too full, and we can't really focus on we don't have the bandwidth for other things almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've used the word saturated a lot. Like we just get saturated with it, and not in a bad way, but our bandwidth just isn't there then for reading more complex or deeper novels or other spiritual readings and those sorts of things. Like we've really kind of like sunk our teeth into it in a big way. And we know that it's a marathon, not a sprint. And like I said to Chantal, it was an episode or two ago, I'm like, it's like we're in a marathon, but we're like in the forest now, and there are no fans along the sidelines cheering, and we're, our legs are cramping.
No one's handing us an orange slice.
No, there's no orange slices in sight. There just isn't, and it's just us. But we're getting there. Like we are really, really close to finishing our full year, and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, having enjoyed our journey and excited about what's next.
So do you think that you're going to do it again? Or yeah, but maybe take a break for a bit?
Yeah.
I really like a vacation.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because it is like, I don't like the word obligation. It's a contract that you made, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's I love that way of thinking about it. And it is. And we've chatted a lot about, we're so grateful that we have each other to keep going. And so I'm so intrigued as to your approach and how you're doing it. I just want to hear all about it.
Well, can I first ask, I'm happy to get in there, but I am really curious, like okay, so the fact that you've done it for a year now, every day, like that, I can see like why you'd get saturated, but like how long are you devoting to this and each day?
Well, we've done it for more than a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we read the whole textbook, and then now we're on the lessons, and then we're going to we've agreed that we are going to do the teachers section as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot.
It's been longer. Oh, sorry, Chantal, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It took us longer to read the text than we thought it was going to also.
Yeah.
Much longer. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So, but you've already gone to like, you're almost at the 365-day mark already? Is that what you're saying?
We're literally in the last, like 60 days of it now. Yeah, like the last 50 days of it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So I didn't even read that preamble. I started.
And that's intriguing to me.
That's what's so nice when you don't follow the rules. And that's something that I've given myself the grace to do. Like I don't have to do it like somebody else does it. And so, and so I like the fact that, I mean, really, I have done it most days. I have, but I don't feel like I have to do it if I don't want to. But each day, though, it gives me renewed hope. Like it gets pretty dark. Life itself, it just gets pretty darn dark sometimes, right? But it for me, anyways, it kind of shines a light all the time, and so it keeps me going. I don't know.
And are you doing the lessons in order then, Lynda?
Well, I didn't think it any other way. Yeah. I think I'd get so mixed up if I did it different.
Yeah.
But I also do it with Carol Howe. I mean, I don't have anybody to reach out to. And sometimes I wish that I did, because like some of the lessons, they'll kind of, head scratcher or whatever, right? But I'm left to my own resources. And I do listen to Carol Howe, but even that, I don't listen to her every day. So I don't know if everybody knows about Carol Howe, but she does she's dedicated a lot of her life to this, I think, where she just kind of she gives her own take on interpretation, right? Yeah. And it's not a big time commitment, like 9 or 15 minutes per lesson or whatever. And so I like to listen to that, because certainly there's more than one way of seeing it, right?
Most definitely. And it's great to have somebody as sort of a guide. And we chose a guide as well, because we're brand new at this, right? And so yeah, we're following Marianne Williamson, and she has, a very similar, it's her take on it. She reads the lesson, and then she gives examples from her life and whatnot, which is really helpful.
Oh, so real life experience. That's good.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you ever read any of the text, or have you just stuck strictly with the question area? Or like the textbook area?
So I did have, like, I just said, okay, universe, like, show me a page. And so it did pop open to a page that intrigued me. So I think I will read it, but I'm got life going on and everything. And so, like, it's going to be one or the other. I don't know. I'll do little snippets, I think, but just reading that one page was enough to intrigue me. So yeah, at some point I'll continue with it.
Have you been finding any of the words triggering in the book? Because I know, or like just overall, because Jenny and I have found a few words triggering repeatedly throughout.
Excuse me. I can't say that anyone in particular, but honestly, like, actually, you know what? The very first lesson triggered me. What was that first lesson? I wrote it down. Nothing I see means anything. What do you mean nothing I see means anything, right? It's like that. So, and also when it gets really, like, when the pages get long, when you're into 2 or 3 pages, then I find that kind of annoying, I guess, more than anything. But there's a lot of clarity as you go through it too.
I found like the first like 30 lessons a bit of like a honey trap, where like, because they were so short and sweet.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it was like these lessons that were like 3 pages long, and I was like, what?
It's going to get worse too, isn't it? Aren't some of them even longer?
There's a
Up and
there's
down.
a there's an ebb and flow. There are also parts I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there are parts of the in the workbook where they're kind of a little bit of like reminder or refreshers, these like little wisdom nuggets from that kind of like remind you of what you've read in the text. And I really enjoyed those, but it does add to your day of that exercise, right? So it's not something where you can just set aside 10 minutes to do A Course in Miracles.
Well, can I ask how long you guys devote to it?
It depends on the day, to be honest. Some days I literally read it, close my eyes, maybe tune into it a little bit, and then like that is it. Other days I will follow through with what it says. I know that there was one exercise where they wanted you to do something like every hour on the hour, and so I had an alarm going, and I really tried to do it. It kind of depends. I do try to do it. I know Jenny does a little bit of journaling with it, but Jenny, why don't you talk about it?
Sure. Yeah. I journal a little bit with it, like listen to the lesson, read the lesson, sort of my take on it, and like examples from my life. I sort of note in that, and I meditate on it a little bit. And then I also do I have a repeat timer that I have go on my phone, because I just find it really helps me to just remember that lesson. Okay. And do I hit all of them? No, because I'm, in the midst of living life, and I don't hear the timer every time and those sorts of things. And that's just fine. But that little gong going off on my phone just reminds me just to pause for a moment and sink into the lesson again.
Yeah. It's hard to do those ones on the hour, right?
Yeah. But for me, I just find it really helps for the lesson to actually sink into my actual life then.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just happen during meditation time that I'm in that frame of mind, then that I actually take that lesson and apply it to my real life more if I do it that way. But that's just my, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm finding that like what you're talking about life, like it's for me, it's hard to know where A Course in Miracles begins and ends, because there's the courses that I'm taking or the webinars that I listen to, or just having a conversation with somebody. And so the rewards, the benefits of doing ACIM, there's kind of like a blurred line there. And so like I'll often go for a walk and I'll take a look around and reflect on the lessons. And I put a sticky note on the back of my phone so that I remember to take a look at it, but I don't set the alarm because the alarm triggers me. And so I kind of do it that way. Yeah.
I'm curious, Lynda, if you've come across the reviews yet.
The reviews. Oh, I
Yeah.
did too. Yeah, there was, I think, only one set so far.
Yeah. And
But
how did you feel about the review? What was the review like for you?
honestly, I don't remember. Can you give me a refresher on? Yeah, it felt long. It felt long.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's just straight up like you repeat the lessons you've already done.
Like 20 of them, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not that far along into it. For this one, I think it was like a week's worth. And so that's the only one. And it was a while ago. So I'm sorry I can't answer your question a little bit better.
If that's okay, what lesson are you on now?
I'm on 77 or 78.
Okay, yeah.
And that one, let me find it here. I took a few notes here. I'll just go to the book because it's easier that way.
Sure.
Oh, I'm entitled to miracles. That's what it is. Like,
That's a good lesson.
Yeah, right. And like, I'm entitled to miracles, and we're all entitled to miracles. And this one gets me revved up. And like, I'm finding like, in my healing course that I've been taking, there's miracles in there. We talk about miracles and the divinity I am. And I am entitled to miracles just because I exist. And because I am the divinity, I am of spirit. And I actually did a meditation yesterday, and it was all to do with the miracles. So let me walk you through that, because it was really quite beautiful, and it was obviously meant to share with you and your audience. So I'm sitting there meditating, and I get this vision of me going off into the cosmos, outer space. And what I'm seeing is that, like, on Time Machine on your computer, you see all those file folders and they go really, really fast. Or think of like 1,000 chapters in a book, but you're going through them like in a second, right? So I'm out there in the cosmos, and my spirit guides have taken me out there, and I'm out there, and then I kind of gently loop back again, and then it takes me back into my soul. And then the next thing is that I was taken below an evergreen tree. My life is all about trees these days, and talking to trees and listening to trees. So I'm taken down below into the roots of that tree, way down. And then I'm taken up into the heights of the tree. And it's an evergreen tree with all its beautiful boughs and its wisdom and its gorgeous, just utter gorgeousness. So I'm at the top of that tree, and the message that I get, and I've heard this before, I needed to hear it again. Lynda, anything that's out there that you can see, that you feel, that you see, that you know, it's all out there for you, because you are a miracle. And I wanted to say that because I believe this book has me, and my studies, honestly, has me believing that I am a miracle and I'm entitled to everything. I don't like life doesn't have to be this small. It can be that humongous, right? Whatever you see at the top of that tree, it's yours, it's mine, it's everybody's. We just have to want it.
Absolutely.
Beautiful share. I love it. Thank you for that.
And
So-
actually, Jenny, I wanted to, sorry, Chantal.
No, you go for it.
I don't know, like this may get cut out, I don't know, but like I had a dream that woke me up at 2:30 this morning. And it was you, Jenny, showed me, because I know that you're very much in the outdoors. You showed me this image of one singular gorgeous evergreen tree, a fir tree. And it was standing tall and stately and proud. And you said something, and I couldn't, like, you know how when you wake up from a dream and it's really hazy, and anyways, I couldn't really figure out exactly what you were trying to say to me, but I think that it was a message for oneness. We're all one. And so if it's in me, it's in you. And you were saying, Lynda, it's in you just as it's in me and everybody else on the planet, right?
Yeah, and that's what I love about your meditation story about being up in that tree and all the beauty and wonder. It's there for you and it's there for everybody else.
It is.
And it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful message and miracle that we get from A Course in Miracles, right? Is that all the lessons around oneness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because whatever's going on in me, like, you're my mirror.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are all mirrors for each other. And when we're willing to look inward about what our part in any of it is when so much growth and healing and exploration happens, right?
And that's kind of like that segue to forgiveness. Like the book is so much about forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's so big, because like if I can forgive you, then maybe I can forgive myself.
Yeah. And if I can forgive myself, maybe I can forgive you.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so the flow with all of that is just incredible.
Yeah. And I found that it's allowed me to, like, okay, I've forgiven, like, say, mom and dad. I forgave my mom and dad, but these lessons, they encourage me to, like, they bring back memories, and then like that forgiveness piece, and then it kind of opens the chapter one more time, and then I can go in there a little bit deeper and, oh gee, I thought that I'd forgiven this, but I think that I can go in a little bit deeper, and so I see new light and a new level of forgiveness, which I love.
Yeah, right. And that forgiveness, it gives us so much freedom. And we've commented many times about how we like that a lesson will repeat in different ways and in different layers, reworded just a little different, to help each of us as individuals to connect with the lesson.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And whether it's because we weren't able to connect with it the first 4 times, or it's just bringing us in deeper.
Yeah. And then like the judgments that come up.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big word, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Has there been a particular lesson or concept from the course so far that has really resonated with you the most, or has provided you with like one of those like aha moments or anything like that?
This one, because like I was asked to go and talk to trees a little while ago, and Divi, and she said, just keep doing it, like just for 6 days, give it a try. Well, then I got sick, so I didn't go and do it, but I'm back doing it again. And just like the miracle of that tree, like we make life so darn complicated. I was coming in from an event in Vancouver one day, and the leaves were changing. The leaves were changing to the beautiful colors of autumn, the golds, the oranges, the reds. And I gazed at those trees on the side of the road. And I'm like, you trees, you just know what to do. You know, you don't ask questions. You don't have to ask and allow. It just happens. And can I just make it as easy as that for myself? And I'd say that, you know what, the ACIM, I think that it's helping me with making things easier for myself. I don't have to be so complicated.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that example of allowing A Course in Miracles to become part of your actual real life.
That's true. But it's hard when you're triggered, right?
Oh, man.
Excuse me. Chantal.
No, it's true. Sorry. I was just looking at a question where I was like, oh, this actually kind of leads into that.
Okay.
Have you noticed any changes in your relationships or the way you relate to others since beginning A Course in Miracles? Because like it does teach you to deal with triggers, right? And the book is also super triggering.
I would say that I'm learning the lessons, but I'm a slow learner. Because like a trigger is a trigger. And but I do find that I'm more patient. If I get like the analogy, like, you know, monitoring your thoughts, watching your thoughts, noticing your thoughts, and maybe this will help other people, because like to see like a halo above my head, and for me to be sitting on that halo and noticing my thoughts, I find that graphic of me perching myself up there on that halo, and it's like, okay, I'm not resonating with this conversation, but I'm noticing more what I'm thinking and how I'm reacting. Can I slow it down? Can I go into being more patient, understanding? And that's so it does help with that. It just gets me to slow down. Right? Do I have to react like 20, like, you know, full on? Maybe not.
Well, and sometimes that's like all we need is like those couple seconds of extra, just so we can observe even for a couple seconds before we react, right? You know, sometimes that is all we need, is just a little bit of slowing down.
Yeah. Hit pause for a moment, or even maybe, oh, I haven't tried this, but, you know, saying, hey, can you give me a minute on this?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's super important, right? And sometimes it is just a minute that we need. And sometimes it's a conversation with ourselves, right? Like, give myself a minute, or it's a conversation with somebody else saying, just give me a minute to think about this. Or maybe I need a day, maybe I need a week, whatever, you know, whatever it is. But I think in our society, because it's so fast paced, we expect ourselves and others to respond and react really, really quickly and go and go and go and go. But that's not always a necessary thing. And so when it's not necessary, to give ourselves and others the gift of the pause between stimulus and response.
Yeah. And I think that stimulus response, defensiveness can come in. I notice that a lot in myself. And so like, if I can hit pause, then maybe I don't have to react quite so quickly.
Because then you're actually responding instead of reacting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just coming from a better place, you know, like, and understanding, compassion, you know, like to see more what's going on, like, yeah, just giving a time out, you know, taking a time out and seeing that person is going through just as much as what I am, or whatever, right? We're all just trying to understand.
Isn't that the truth?
I think so.
And sort of a follow-up to the question Chantal just asked, are you noticing the ripples. You know how we learned about ripples and everything, right? And those vibrations that we send out when we took our intuitive coach training together. Are you noticing that in your life through A Course in Miracles?
I'd say I'm not actively noticing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I notice it within me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I take that back because I know I do have more patience, more understanding, and forgiveness. Like I don't have to like what you say, but maybe I can just step back and get out of my own way and try and understand what you're saying to me. And yeah, I think
And
so.
that causes, right. And then that causes that ripple, right?
Yeah. Like I think that all of us have probably experienced. Okay, so I've got a different wave. I've definitely noticed that when I come up differently, then the people around me are different. For sure, for sure, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. And there's like a higher level, there's a higher vibration. And like I'm thinking about my family in particular.
Sure.
Those that history, like if my vibration is high, then it invites the other person to have a higher vibration too, because the walls are kind of down, right?
Yeah.
When we show up as our divine selves, it opens it up for others to, just like you're saying, the high vibration. It's the same sort of thing. It invites others to feel welcome to show up as their divine selves as well.
Yeah, and like the critical part, like let me just see the beauty in you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, letting that critical nature, or just let it take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were going to ask a question, so I paused.
I'm like, Chantal's got a question now. What's your question?
Excuse me.
So have you found that there are any lessons that you found particularly challenging? Or ones that you maybe were like, I really did not enjoy that lesson, or that one just wasn't for me?
There has been, yeah. Even the other day, I just kind of had to, well, even like this one the other day, I am under no laws but God, but God's. That kind of tripped me up a little bit because like sometimes it just feels kind of like what's the word, not like the only word that comes into my head is airy fairy, like kind of hypothetical. And so that's why I like the halo thing. Like I can grip my teeth into that. It's kind of gross, but anyways, I can see that. But to understand no laws but God's, well, it feels like more of a commitment, I guess, to God's laws. And I was raised a Catholic, and I don't follow Catholicism now, but I'm really, really grateful that I have my Catholic background in mind, because when I often have Jesus, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene coming to me and helping me get through, or to get clarity, or they're just always there for me, especially Jesus. And I don't want to get into, religion, but so I wish I could do this better for you. I personally don't follow Catholicism, and I haven't since my 20s, because it just didn't resonate anymore for me. So I guess I don't like the word laws. Maybe maybe it feels too constricting. But it also challenged me to, okay, well, what are my laws? What are my beliefs? And so I kind of I did trip up on that. I had a hard time coming up with, well, what are my laws?
Yeah.
And isn't it great when we get tripped up then? Because then we get curious,
True.
right? Like we're supposed to be triggered by words in this book and lessons in the book and how things are phrased and all of that so that we dig in deeper.
Yep.
Yeah.
True. That's very true.
And that's a great question to ask ourselves. What are my laws? Mm-hmm.
One
Yeah.
thing that Jenny and I were speaking about the other day, and I don't know if it's me misremembering the beginning the of the workbook, but like for me, I feel like the Holy Spirit came in quite a bit at the beginning of the workbook, and then he kind of fades out a little bit and they stop talking about him so much. And then me and Jenny are we're at a part where he starts to come back a little bit more. And I call him a he. Holy Spirit could be anything, but I call him a he. And one thing that came up like a lot through mine and Jenny's exploration with this is like, to me, it bothers me that God is sort of, I feel like God's kind of depicted as a he, Jesus is a he. That kind of always bothered and triggered me as well. But Holy Spirit, I'm totally okay with him being a he. Like, it doesn't bother me. And like, to me, the Holy Spirit is like this really cool guy where he has like, I know this sounds really weird, but he kind of looks like the Grim Reaper, smokes a cigarette and has a saxophone. Like, he's just like this cool guy that floats around and plays
Funny.
good music.
There's that artistic flair in you again.
Right, that's right.
But yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm trying to get at here, but like how do you, like you've said how all these other like Jesus, Mary, you know, how you can like how they contact you like in like visions or meditations, like do you have a relationship with the Holy Spirit through this book, or like what's, yeah.
I don't know that it's separate from the book because it's part of me. Like I said, I was raised a Catholic. So even though I pushed it away, it's come back. And I think that the book, it punctuates it because it's there like all the time, right? Like for me, I don't see that spirit has walked away in the book. I don't feel that way because I see it I see him, we'll say, underlying in every page, every lesson.
Yeah.
But something that I think that perhaps like Mother Mary was not a part of my life until recently. And maybe it was ACIM that got me inviting her in. I'm not too sure actually, but it kind of balances things. And Mary Magdalene, I read a book about her and her life. And, you know, like, is it okay if I talk about the church in this regard?
Of course, go for it.
Yeah, anything.
I mean, like they shunned the church, the men of the church, because women weren't smart enough to be a part of the, you know, like the to be a priest or whatever it might be. Like women were just kind of shunned. They were burned at the stake because they were too powerful or whatever, and kind of gets my ire up, you know. But like Mary Magdalene, she kind of, for me, signifies that rebellious nature, and the church shut her down. Like if I read one piece where in an entire church, like, and I don't know if it was the Church of Rome or just what it was, but there was one little tiny figurine of her, and then everything else is Jesus and Mary and whoever else, the disciples, I suppose. But that little one tiny thing, but she was very much a part of his life, for as I understand it. So then there's that judgment piece of these priests. You're not good enough to be part of this life. You're faulted, you know, like you're a sin or whatever, you know, like there's just all that judgment piece that really. So anyways, I'm glad that she came into my life again because she deserves to be there. She deserves, anybody that wants to invite her in should be able to invite her in, because there's so many ways of viewing something, right? It doesn't, and to see things through the eyes of men all the time. Nothing against men, but the women should have the equal voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the women had a voice at that time, it would be a different book. It would be a different Bible. It would be a different
Completely.
Quran, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, completely
Absolutely.
different. And when you were just chatting about Mary Magdalene and you brought in the word sin, something that I have loved in the book is how they talk about sin more in the realm of error. Right? Like to me, because I was also raised Catholic-ish, you know, kind of like Catholic light, maybe you'd say. And there was just that, like that sin part, and that you're wrong and you're bad and you're sinful, and now you're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
Right? There's error, that we make error and then we do a course correction, and then we error again and we course correct. And I love that idea, that vision, that philosophy that I thought, for me anyways, comes through in the lessons and in the text about it, that we are sinless. All of us are sinless. But what we're looking to do is to course correct from our errors. And of course we make errors. We don't have, you know, a misconceived notion of that, but that we're not an error. We're not a sin.
Yeah.
But we do error and then we course correct.
Yeah.
And I love the lessons around that for me.
It's kind of like when we're children, like I remember it being quite prevalent when my kids were young, that you know, I'm not angry with all of you. I'm just annoyed that you did this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then so, okay, so like you said, I love that, an error. Okay, and let me make it right, you know, like without being, you know, the hell and damnation and the fear and everything. Okay, I'm a human being.
Yeah.
Made a mistake.
Yeah, that's right. And we're allowed to make mistakes. And if we're allowed to make mistakes, then we allow others to be able to make mistakes as well, and to find their own course correction. And that's that lesson again in oneness and forgiveness. And like it all, like they come together in so many different ways. And I love that about this book.
Yeah. 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 You asked earlier on about how the book affects those in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that as I'm more open and less closed, that invites my family or my friends to be less closed and more open, or, you know, like less judgmental.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And more forgiving. But even forgiving, that's not really what I wanted to say there. Just like, you know, to show up as being authentic me without any judgments. Like, I'm just really, really appreciating who you are right now. I'm enthralled with the things that you have to say. Yeah.
And then anybody in that energy and in that vortex or vibration with you, they just have a chance to just rise right up and just shine. And even if they're shining and telling you about the horrible day that they had at work, and that they're really mad about this and that over here or whatever, people can still really shine in the midst of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is, again, an example of A Course in Miracles, or any healing, any spiritual work actually showing up in people's lives. Because we can have an absolute crap day and still feel really held by the divine, whatever divine means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And allowed to be you.
They're always there, like, you know, just like to tune in and, you know, like a crap day, and it's like they're there to just love you and hold you and you know, like make you feel good about yourself once again, you know,
Yeah.
listening for those subtle messages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I invite them to lay down beside me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah, it is nice. Yeah. Um, I, just a second. Were you going to say something, Chantal?
No. I heard an so I'm just staying
I
quiet.
know. Just waiting.
I'm just trying to bring up. Okay. So this is where you're going to have to cut and paste, I think. But
That's okay.
I have come across this one. So initially I was journaling and I forgot actually that you're supposed to journal. And I came across this one and it's at the beginning of the book. I don't have the number, but it was early on into the book. And it's "My holiness blesses the world." So my holiness, as I'm interacting, it blesses you, it blesses me. It's like that oneness once again. And I'll just read what I wrote down.
Yeah.
To invoke divine favor upon, to sanctify. The purpose is to experience the world through the eyes of divinity. It's the end of sacrifice. And I don't know about you, but like for myself, I felt like I was in sacrifice for so many years, you know, like in the, like on that emotional scale, Abraham Hicks emotional scale. I spent a lot of my life in that lower end and it doesn't feel good. And I know that ACIM is helping elevate me. I don't need to be a sacrificial lamb or whatever. I can just show up as me and be authentic me. And it's great if you love me for it, and it's okay if you don't love me for it. So it's making me feel like I can be me and accepted for who I am and not to have to qualify. But let me just see. It's a law. I'll just read what else. And this is like back in April that I wrote it. It's the end of sacrifice. There's a law. What I give, I receive. And if I attack, I get attacked. Right? Like how I show up in the world can be like just so amazing, but if I'm in attack form, I'm going to get that back. And I need to recall, so that forgiveness piece, like the mistake, the error in ways, I need to recall that I'm holy, and I need to stop attacking myself. And I don't have to make my holiness true. It is true, right? I don't have to make my holiness be true because it is true already in every one of us.
So it's like we don't have to prove it to ourselves or anybody else then either, right? Yeah.
But that's a lesson in itself, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's just something else that happens. And we haven't actually chatted about this too much, Chantal, but like how the lessons that we're given do create other lessons for us throughout that day, right? And that's a miracle as well. Is that one lesson opens you up to other lessons and things that happen. And those aha moments that we have, whether it's in meditation or in the midst of real life, it's just beautiful to experience.
That's the gift of talking. Sorry, Chantal.
No, go ahead.
It's the gift of you two being able to come together. Like I don't have that other perspective. I'm making it up as I go. I'm understanding it as I go. And so like that really is the gift of doing it with a partner.
So out of curiosity, if you were to do it again, would you do anything differently, or would you keep on doing it the same way you've been doing it? Or would you like to continue on doing A Course in Miracles again? Or
I'm pretty sure, I'm quite certain that I'll do it again. And if I was to do it again, would I do it different? I don't like something feeling like I have to do it.
Yeah.
I want to just have it be something that I want to do. So maybe I like, do you two come together like once a week, for example?
Once every 2 weeks.
Okay, so like maybe in that 2 weeks, I'd say, okay, can we give ourselves a grace day in each week if we want it? Because I still like that idea of being able to do it, to have that little bit of flexibility.
Yeah, for sure. There's been days where definitely like Jenny and I have been like, we'll message her and be like, I'm behind, me too. We're very lucky that for both of us, it has been kind of at similar times.
Yeah.
I know when we were reading the text, I was quite behind for quite a while there. And then for some reason at the end, I just kind of I scurried through it, but I caught up.
It's almost like there's that peer pressure, right? Like I made a deal here, and like,
I think
right?
also I found, so Jenny and I, the oversaturation kept on hitting us. And I've never described a book as making me feel so full I can't eat anymore type of a feeling. And for us both, it was about a 5-page mark. We couldn't really get past the 5-page mark. And
Yeah,
towards the end there, I did find myself being able, my endurance of it was, my stomach stretched. I was able to cram more in. Maybe it wasn't the healthiest thing to do. I was able to do it.
Bulimic. So when you said the 5-page mark, are you saying that some of the lessons are actually 5 pages?
No, this is like the textbook section. Yeah, it's we just couldn't seem to get past 5 pages. There come a point where we're like, oh, I can't read anymore.
Okay, so you're talking about the part before the actual lessons begin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chantal, do you remember how long it took for us to get through?
Almost 6 months, I want to say.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. It was at
Yeah.
least, it was minimum August to Christmas, but I think it took us a little bit longer than that. And Jenny and I also did some prep work as well. So I saw on the Gabby Bernstein blog that she read A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson, and then
The Disappearance of the
Disappearance of
Universe.
the Universe. Yeah, which is a weird book.
Weird book.
Yeah, I always forget the man's name who wrote it, but yeah, so we read those two leading into it, which was a nice.
What was the name of that book?
Disappearance of the Universe and A Return to Love. I can send you screenshots of the covers.
I've got A Return to Love. I read that one.
Disappearance of the Universe is bizarre. It's written kind of like an interview or like a script.
Yeah.
And it's just this very unique man who has 2 spirits come to him. One's a man and one's a female. Like one's male, one's female. And yeah, it's very bizarre and very interesting. But it kind of what I found with The Return to Love, me and Jenny both were like, it's such a beautiful book, could not tell you a single word of what it, like, no clue what it says.
Yeah, loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. No idea.
Who cares?
And that's it.
Exactly.
And it helped us to get comfortable with reading something that we weren't understanding.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what, Jenny? That is perfect. Reading something that you didn't understand.
And keep going.
And keep going through it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I like that a lot.
And that's what A Course in Miracles has been a really good experience for me, like lesson in, is to trust that I will absorb whatever I'll absorb and to just keep on going. Because with a textbook, like it's not just like days, like it's like 10 hours of reading where I'm like, no clue what they're talking about. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, I get it. I now get it. And then you go through another 4 or 5 hours. You're like, no clue, because it's 60 hours of text. I know because of the audiobook. Did it with the audiobook.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in answer to your question, your earlier question, then would I do things differently? I think I would read the bit at the beginning of the book. I think one of my friends just didn't do that. And so I just, decided to do the lessons. So if I was to go back and forth, like from the lessons, the daily lessons to the front of the book, would that be a good marriage or not?
I think it's a personal preference thing.
Yeah.
Right? That just, I would run the experiment and see what you think. We ran so many experiments, like how to get through the text. I tried like probably 4 or 5 different styles of taking that information in, and then finally landed on one that worked for the rest of the time. And I know we've chatted too about if we were to do A Course in Miracles again, which we both feel that we will do the lessons, and we've asked ourselves the question, we read the text again, or we're like, no. No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but it really did help prepare us for the lessons. That's for sure.
I found as well, like one of the experiments that I did, because I'm such like a huge audiobook person. So I found when I was listening and reading to it, I needed to follow along and read the text as I was listening to it.
Yeah.
But I found that like I would understand less of what they were telling me, but I would retain it longer when I did it that way. But if I sat with my eyes closed and meditated and then pressed play, I would understand way more of what they were talking about. But could I retain it? Absolutely not. So
Okay.
I kept on jumping between half and half.
Yeah.
But like between those 2 methods, I could not do anything else. Like normally I'll listen to an audiobook and do dishes or do something really mindless. No hope in doing anything else. Like, and it was a love and hate relationship. I loved that this book was so powerful that I had to sit and focus on it. And it got me out of that multitasking and whatever. And it was like, no, just give your attention to this. Why not? It's 1 year of your life. Give your attention to it.
Yeah.
But now I'm missing better books and fluff.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I would like ideally to read a book, but I'm so exhausted. And so then I'll numb out with Netflix. There's definitely not going to be a lesson that I want to learn a bunch at night. I want to numb out, right?
Yeah.
And hats off to you, Lynda, for being able to take other courses and be exploring other things during your healing and spiritual journey, right? Because that's something that we've sunk into this, and this is where we are. Yeah. Yeah. And reading and listening to fluff.
And we have tried, like I have tried doing other things while doing this. And A Course in Miracles just ends up going out the window for me. Yeah. Or I get really behind in it. I really struggle being able to do the two.
I have a hard time understanding, because for me, I sit there, I have my daily practice where I meditate, I do the abundance book, and I do this book. And so like, why is it so full for you? Like, because you carry it through the day with you. Is that why?
Yeah. I think that's part of it. And I think for both of us too, in the midst of growing businesses at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just a lot on in our life.
Yes.
That is between, the human experience and the spiritual experience. It's just a lot on all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I know for me, anyways, I won't speak for you, Chantal, but I do want to make sure that I keep my focus on A Course in Miracles as far as, the spiritual reading that I'm doing. not get caught up over here and distracted by these other things, even though you know darn well that they would all tie into each other really beautifully. I just know for me, I need to focus just on one for right now.
So like when you have your ladies and perhaps men coming over too to do the quilting,
Mm-hmm.
is that a place then where you practice the Course in Miracles?
Yeah, I do use it. I do utilize it. Not as much as I know that I will be, because we do plan on reading A Course in Miracles for teachers. Like so at the end of the book, there's a section about, we don't know exactly what it's about yet because we haven't peaked.
Yeah.
But yes, I do bring it in, and I feel like it will come in more and more and more when I have a better concept of how to bring it in. But I definitely, these little lessons and these different things that fit in well with what we are focusing on spiritually in the quilt room, I do bring them in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just a couple weeks ago, bringing up Divya once again,
Mm-hmm.
with the healing course that I'm taking through her right now, A Course in Miracles comes into every lesson. I think we come together once a week, and it's a group, and like every single week, a couple times probably she'll bring it up during the class, because she is just she's embodied it in such a big way. She actually went to a workshop specifically on A Course in Miracles. And so I didn't know that it was that big of a thing. But I think that enveloping it, she weaves it into every week's lessons. And so I guess really, like, in doing that, it makes me see that it's part of my life, and that it can, and maybe it should be, I don't like that word, but it should be part of my everyday life. And to make the effort, like, there's obviously something really big there. And it makes me feel good about myself. Like, it never makes me feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always something good to come out of it. And also I find it, what keeps me going on it too is that there's hope. Like, it's a page turner for me. I want to see what's there tomorrow. And because, like, I've been filled with hope so much already, so let's see what tomorrow brings, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I think, a nice segue into our final question. What advice would you give to someone who's considering starting A Course in Miracles on their own?
Well, I don't know other than what you two ladies have shared with me, but perhaps to begin with a text, or do it the way that I did, jump into the lessons. Every individual is going to have to figure that out for themselves. I'm just going to look. I did write a little something.
Yeah, go for it. Like, even like, like if, because like there's periods where like we like lull motivation, right? Like anything that helps you get through those when you hit a wall like Jenny and I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I never have walls.
Love it.
Right? What I was going to say about that, I actually already said it. And so I'd say that, to know anybody that has picked up this book, they know that there's a message there for them. And that message, I'm getting emotional on that. The message may be elusive sometimes, but to just keep on going, because there's such a richness in this. And there's so many of us that are embodying this work. So don't be dissuaded by it. It's a big book. It's definitely a big book, but it's beautiful that each page, or basically each page, every 2 or 3 pages is a lesson. And it's not a lot. It's just, it'll just feel good, like to get to the other side of the lesson and to have those ahas and to know that I don't have to be so critical of me. And if I don't do it every day, then, like, it's okay to just show up for yourself, however that looks.
Great advice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Is there any last things you would like to cover before we end the episode?
All of us were raised with belief systems, and many of them are awesome. We tend to focus on the ones that don't serve us, though. And so if we can go to the ones to go to what it is that we want or desire versus what we don't want, then that opens us up to the miracles that are there. And each one of us is entitled to those miracles. There was one time you said to me, Chantal, through Sonia Choquette, and expect to be intuitive. Well, same thing. And I thought, oh gosh, that sounds brazen. For me, in my ears, that sounded brazen. But expect to have miracles. Expect them to come your way. And know that they're happening. You just have to put it out there. Like, just put your palms out there and be in that allowing mode and just and wait for them to come. They're everywhere. You just have to be open to seeing and feeling like you're deserving. So I'd say that the Course in Miracles, the book, one of the biggest gifts that it's given me is to know that I am entitled to I am a miracle. Everybody, like, we started out at this as this little tiny egg, and like the tree, it's that little tiny seed. And look at the magnificence of you and me and the tree and the flowers. I don't know, it's just everywhere, and it's in each one of us. That's what I would have to say.
Beautiful.
That's so beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on Two Newbies Exploring A Course in Miracles. You are our honorary third newbie today. So thank you so much.
I am like two newbies. I love that. I love that. Like, it's just, like newbies, like that's like, oh, it's just like a book that's begging to be opened, like, let's see what happens next.
Yeah.
Thank you both for inviting me.
Oh, thank you so much, Lynda. Really appreciate it.
I've enjoyed it.